everyone. Welcome to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. I am a certified graduate builder and a graduate master builder certified by the National Association of Home Builders. I'm also a member of the Green Building Council and a member of the North Texas Green Building Council. And today's topic is going to be affordable green building practices. And my guests today are Teresa Welch with Century 21 and Jean Gibson, Vice President of Gibson Home Builders Incorporated. Teresa, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm great, thank you.
Oh, great.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jean.
Yeah. Well, you missed one thing on your litany of all your credentials, too. You're approved by the VA as a approved VA builder.
Yes.
And there was something else.
FHA.
Yeah, there was something. It gets to be a long list
Absolutely.
of approvals.
Those are important, though. VA and FHA these days, very important.
Well, I got approved here, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 years ago or 5. I don't know.
What, by the VA?
By the VA, yeah.
That's
And when I got approved, they said that, it's probably going to take you 30 days, 6 weeks or more. Well, I was a graduate master builder certified by the National Association of Home Builders. Well, their offices are right next to the VA. And so it took me 24 hours.
Wow.
From the time it was submitted till we got a written approval. It was amazing.
That is
really
amazing because VA is tough.
Yeah, it went through that fast. There was no glitch. So you're going to ask me what is our new project now?
What's our new project?
Okay. We have decided that our new house will be an earth-sheltered home. Did I say it right that time?
Yeah.
Okay. And we started on this project. We pulled together a team to help us with the project because we're going to make an example of this house of what earth-sheltered can be.
They don't have to be just a buried house,
Yeah, we don't have to go for cave ugly.
Right.
And aesthetics
are
important to me. I want a beautiful house. I want a beautiful craftsman home. And so part of our team is researching self-sustainable environments. We've already pulled together, we've got a videographer because we're going to video record. We're going to record the entire process, the construction of the house. And we want to make an example of affordable, energy-efficient housing. We're also researching solar, wind, gas, geothermal type of energy sources. And there was one other thing that came up on the DOD thing was that there's electrostatic energy in the ground.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just like when you put anything like the radio communication towers and all that stuff, when they're setting their buildings, they've got certain practices that they have to follow for proper grounding. And same way with anything that you're putting in the ground. Well, you're actually grounded.
So it's not a source that you can recover. It's something you must protect against. But we've come up with a design, a little 3,600 square foot house.
That's not small.
Not at all. Not at all. I keep thinking, where are we going to put everything?
Well, that's not actual living area. That's including the courtyard.
The center is to be open. We have parrots, lots and lots of parrots, and I want an aviary. And so we're coming up with all kinds of concepts and designs. We have been to Bryce Canyon, I think was the center out there. The building out there has a passive air conditioning system. So we need to get all the detail on that. They draw the air in from one side through the building and out through their roof.
They had
to keep it cool.
They had that chimney effect, and they had windows that were like casement windows that would open at the bottom, at the floor level.
Right.
And they were blowing air through this and water through this tower, and it was like rain outside the building.
Really?
It was real soothing just to listen to, and so the air would come through the moist and cool it, and then it would exit the tower. It was like a chimney.
Yeah, but it had no electricity used. It was all completely passive cooling. So we've got a lot of research ahead of us to make this a very energy efficient, aesthetically pleasing, I get points for that, environment.
Well, when you talk about earth-sheltered homes have been around for eons.
Yeah, but they've also been seriously ugly.
Well, it depends. No, they all haven't. I mean, you can build a conventional house, and as long as you put dirt on the roof, it's an earth-sheltered home.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're all different types, all different styles, and you can make it look like anything you want from the front or the side.
I intend to.
Yeah, well, I know
and
you are.
You're on the right track, Jean, because, I mean, aesthetics is what it's all about. People, they're so visual, and they get emotionally attached, and that's what you want. The first thing they see, you want them. I mean, NAR, National Association of Realtors, did a study, and they determined that people within about 10 seconds determine if they're going to buy that home or not.
Wow.
And it's all based on emotion. You know, psychology and marketing, it's all based on emotion. So you're hitting the right track.
Oh, yeah. I think curb appeal, as they've always called it, is the hot button there.
You bet.
And then to follow it up with a well-built house. Before the show, I was saying to you about the project up in Appalachia.
Yes.
Inexpensive housing. That's warm and wonderful. And they said they had to do a very specific type of house because the environment was essentially vertical.
Right.
And I'm saying, yeah, but the utility bills eat these people alive afterward. Give them a good, solid home. Take advantage of the environment. Build into the environment. It can still be a gorgeous house.
Absolutely.
And what Jim's focused in on is making this affordable, comparable to conventional construction, but then your utility bills are zero or less than with a buyback.
Right. Can you help me understand self-sustainable?
Self-sustaining means, well, they put several zero-energy houses out there now. So if you're not hooked up to the grid, you're not burning any electricity that you're not buying. I mean, you're furnishing everything. You've got your own well. You've got your windmills furnishing your power.
Rain recovery system.
You're totally independent of everybody. And sustainable products are those that we can grow and reap, and then we can replant. Or there's a lot of it.
Right.
So it's a sustainable product that will last our lifetime, our kids' lifetime. Such as bamboo for bamboo flooring.
Right.
It grows so fast that it's readily attainable. It's easy to grow, and it's an excellent product. It has the hardness of. It's even harder than most of your hardwoods out there.
Wow.
Which is amazing when you put your thumb through it most of the time.
Well,
so the other thing about being self-sustaining is that if you produce your own electricity off of solar or wind, then oftentimes the individuals are selling back to the power companies. The excess, well, have you seen the commercials with T. Boone Pickens?
Yes.
And he's talking about his wind farms.
Right.
Well, that's what we're talking about here. Put a windmill up there to generate your own electricity. If you have excess, sell it back to the power company.
And everybody can't do it because you got to have enough space to do it in, and there's certain codes that you have to meet. And if you're in an HOA or something like that, they're probably not going to allow it.
Right.
But HOA,
they're a homeowners association. But you know, it's if you can do it, do it. I mean, it will save you a lot of money, and our electric bills and our utility bills are just going to continue to rise. Right. And anything you can do to help out the environment, and it actually saves you money. So think of it as you're helping the environment, and it saves you money, and you put your money into the bank and buy things that you really want to play with. Buy some toys.
That's an exciting thought. It just doesn't even cross my mind to be a self-sustainable on my own. And then if you combine that with the aesthetics and have a beautiful home,
ta-da,
that's a win-win.
We've got to take a break. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
Are right here in Parker County. Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
YourCircleOfWealth.com. A recent study by one of the world's largest financial institutions estimates that over 90% of baby boomers will not retire financially independent. We have prepared a financial report entitled Your Circle of Wealth. Learn how changing the way you manage your money can dramatically increase your wealth. To get a copy, you may go to www.yourcircleofwealth.com and enter the passcode Gibson, Gibson. That's yourcircleofwealth.com.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties with a selection of interior and exterior lighting fixtures. They also have ceiling fans, mirrors, and vanities in all sizes. A lighting consultant will help you with your decisions. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
North Texas Basements, 817-770-2768. With over 30 years of experience in residential construction, add extra living area, storm protection, and extra room that will be easy to heat and cool without needing a large piece of ground to build on. Think about having a basement in your next home. North Texas Basements, 817-770-BSMT or 817-770-2768. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, 2401 Zion Hill Road, Weatherford, Texas, 682-429-2116. We specialize in homes to suit each and every individual that expects special attention. We help design, finance, and close on every home we build. We use green building techniques in all of our homes. You can contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, Weatherford, 682-429-2116. Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Teresa Welch with Century 21 and Jean Gibson with Gibson Home Builders Incorporated. And we're talking about green building, affordable green building. And we're going to talk about, I guess, some other things. What did you bring to the table today, Teresa? We want to talk about what are people looking for now as far as when they're going out looking at homes?
Well, can we back up one to say, tell me about the Texas market? First of all, the evening news is terrible.
Right.
Home starts are down. You know, the world is coming to an end tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. How dreadful, terrible, terrible real estate is. Tell me about this market.
We are doing great, Jean. I mean, we are so happy to be in Texas, especially this part of Texas. Right. We are so incredibly busy right now. People are moving our way from out of the area. People within the area are able, because our economy is good, to move up. And then we do have a lot of people who are empty nesters, moving down too. So we've got an entire market going on. We don't have just one section that's doing well. And, what they want to call the mortgage crisis, we did have a little bump in the road there for a moment. But VA and FHA have filled that gap. And it's just kind of changing the way we think and the way y'all build also for that VA and FHA buyer. That's who we need to focus on now.
Is that, do you have any kind of figures as to how many people are moving into the area monthly now?
Wow, I don't. Probably the chamber would have that. I've heard there have been months where we've had like 400 people at a time coming into the area. I can tell you last week I personally contracted 5 homes in 1 week. So it's an incredible market out there right now. Of course, it's summer. Everybody's wanting to get in before school starts, and that's another great thing we have is our school systems bring a lot of people here.
Are they mostly the gas field workers or
No, sir. No, we have a lot of executives moving in. Actually sold a home not long ago to a gentleman who sells beef jerky. So, you just never know who you're going to get.
Is there a big market for that?
For beef jerky?
For beef jerky. Obviously, he's done okay. I don't know if you bought it lately, but we buy it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a staple in our home.
That's so good to hear, though, because the evening news is so doom, gloom, and despair.
Right.
And we keep hearing that we are different, and it's so affirming to hear somebody else say that. So our mortgage rates I haven't tracked in a while. They're still down.
They're very steady, and they are down. I mean, it's still a great time to purchase a home. And I don't know if buyers out there understand, but when interest rates go up, you just can't buy as much home.
Right.
So while you have the opportunity to buy the home that you really want, this is the time to do it when rates are still low.
Are the banks being difficult? Is it tough to work with the banks?
Absolutely not.
Nothing's changed.
Absolutely not. It's the only thing that's changed is probably the type of mortgages that we're doing. Paperwork's a little bit different.
Right.
Inspections, building is a little bit different possibly. But everybody's just kind of shifting their mindset. It might take an extra 10 to 15 days to close that loan.
But you can still close the loan.
Oh, absolutely.
And the houses here are not being given away. When you hear about the California houses devaluating,
right.
We're not encountering that.
No. And, I've lived through that California market. I started about 20 years ago in Santa Barbara. Average home price was $610,000.
That's average.
Average.
My gosh.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,000 square feet. People were still buying homes at that point, and interest rates were around 10%. But, Texas is a totally different animal. We have a real steady growth. We don't do the big swings up and down. We enjoy about a 4 or 5% increase per year. It's
outstanding.
Just absolutely. And what more can you do than have an investment that you get to enjoy and it earns you income?
Right. And I've got several people that are wanting to start their homes and all this other stuff, and they keep postponing because they hear all the news, the doom and gloom. And what I'm telling them is that with oil prices, oil's falling right now,
yes,
but
it is.
But still, everything is brought in by truck or train or plane, and they all depend on fuel to get it there. So and the distributors and all that stuff are passing on the cost to the consumer.
Oh, they have to.
Well, they have to.
Because it's such a huge jump.
And I've got people
Expensive.
charging me surcharges now that have never charged me fuel surcharges before, and they're not cheap.
No, we're talking $50, $75,
$100,
$100 a trip charge.
Really?
Yes, it's very substantial.
And that starts adding up when you've got several people coming to a job, and you've got all different fields that have to show up. Well, each one of them is starting to add that in, and I can't blame them. I have to add it in when I do my estimate on the house because we don't work for free.
Absolutely.
And
well, what I would like to know from you too is about the Weatherford market. Well, not just Weatherford, Parker County, this region of Texas. Can I buy a starter home, and can I buy a $2 million, $4 million, $10 million estate here?
You bet.
Do we have that variety here?
You bet. And that's what's so exciting about our market. There are some markets that, some home buyers just can't get into. It's $500,000 and up or something along those lines. We have great people in the area that have been building, starter homes all the way up to, of course, we have the multi-million-dollar homes also. Absolutely anybody can come here and find something in their price range.
Or build new. There's still land. I'm finding when we looked at buying some land, some resort second home land, and our land prices here are very good. They're fair, they're reasonable. We're not cheap. I'm finding when people come in and they've read the national news, what they're looking for is the $1 million house for $500,000.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to find that here. They're going to find a good buy for a fair price.
Absolutely. And that's
but
why
not the giveaways.
Right. That's why the Texas market's done so well. Like, again, we just keep that steady incline. And our values stay where they need to be.
Excellent.
All right, we've got to take another break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
The entire nation are right here in Parker County. Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Alamo Appliance, 100 South Riverside Drive in Fort Worth, has been serving your needs in kitchen appliances since the early 70s. They offer Genair, KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and many other appliances. And their sales staff is ready to help you anytime you might visit. That's Alamo Appliance, 817-531-2701. Once again, the Alamo Appliance number is 817-531-2701.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving the building professional in Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties. Services include planned takeoff, site walkthrough, and delivery. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. Again, it's 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
looking for a law firm with an understanding of the construction industry? Kelly M. Davis and Associates experience includes home inspections, construction contracts, disputes with builders, and helping subcontractors or vendors that have not been paid for their services. For more information, you may visit www.kmdalegal.com or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009.
Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Principal offices are located in Lewisville, Texas.
Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, 2401 Zion Hill Road, Weatherford, Texas, 682-429-2116. We specialize in homes to suit each and every individual that expects special attention. We help design, finance, and close on every home we build. We use green building techniques in all of our homes. You can contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, Weatherford, 682-429-2116. Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Teresa Welch with Century 21 and Jean Gibson with Gibson Home Builders. And we're talking about, I think, everything under the sun as far as houses, selling houses, green building, or earth-sheltered home. And today's topic is, like I said, was going to be affordable green building practices.
Well, Teresa just made a good point about that, too.
Yeah. You can build green, and you were talking about the aesthetics. That is, if you can draw them in with the curb appeal,
you bet.
You pretty well got them.
You bet. Well, absolutely. They want to feel good about living in that home. They want to take, again, possession of that home right away. And this is a place we would love to live in. And then, once they get in and they understand what you've done, Jim, with that home and the energy efficiency they're going to enjoy for the years that they live in that home, help them understand that. Again, that's a win-win. Why would you go anywhere else?
Mm-hmm. Well, I try to tell them, if everybody's operating on a budget, and if when they're going in, they can add fluff later on, though.
Absolutely.
As long as your layout is right and it's appealing, you don't have to have the best countertops and the best cabinets and all. Best tile or best everything, because if you can put your money in better places.
That's right. And I think if we can help the consumer understand that it's the things that you don't see, the wonderful things you're doing, you don't see them. And we've got, it's in the marketing again, we've got to help them understand how this is going to not only affect them, but help them down the road. And they'll save enough money that they can go put those granite countertops in later or
they
tile
can be
floors.
Creative.
You bet.
And that's the one thing that I always look to is for the item that is creative, useful, exciting, and a little outside the box. It's just like the furniture with the rubbed off finish. Your mother would have a heart attack if she had a scratch.
I tried to do that for her when I was young, but she didn't get it.
And now you pay extra to get a scraped off paint finish.
Right.
It's just being creative with the products that you put in your home. One of the things that I've always noticed with Jim's houses, and you can't put your finger on it, but you walk through the door and it feels solid.
Right.
And it's the feeling. I don't know what the electric bill is when I walk through the door, but I do know that there's a difference. Little things when I walk through production houses, they don't have the final refined detail.
Uh-huh.
Electric outlets that the plate doesn't cover the hole in the wall gets me crazy.
Right, absolutely.
And if it's that obvious, what's behind the wall? And
there's your difference between a custom home and a production home. You're giving them things that they can't get somewhere else, and you're giving them choices too that they may not be able to make somewhere else. Mm-hmm. That's very important.
Well, a lot of your production builders and quite a few builders, they'll say, we'll build your custom home. Which one of these 5 plans do you want?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's certainly not a true custom.
Right.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely.
But the true custom home, I enjoy getting involved on that aesthetic component. We get discounts for all kinds of things.
That's great.
And I always talk to the the customer and say, come shopping with me.
Right.
I know where the deals are. And it's just kind of fun and exciting to get something really nice for a really good price.
Oh, you bet. And again, I mean, our homes reflect us a lot of times.
Right.
And that's where if you can give them both, if you can give them what reflects them, which in a custom home
it does,
you can get, absolutely, and still give them that energy efficiency, that's a wonderful concept, and I think something we're going to have to look at down the road that we haven't had to look at in the past.
Well, and I'm sorry, but I don't think it's down the road. I think this is here and now,
Yeah.
and that's exactly why we've decided on the type of house we're going to do.
Right.
It's here and now. It's 107 degrees outside, and the electric bill showed
Not
up.
officially.
Not officially. I don't care.
Volkswagen officially.
My Volkswagen official thermometer said 107 driving through town yesterday.
Wow.
And so energy efficient, cool, comfortable, and that you can open the mailbox and not go into a coma over the electric bill.
And of course, that's been in the headlines lately. So you
so
are
it's
right.
here and now.
It is.
They put money into the smart things, but you can balance it.
But there's little bitty things that you can do in the affordable green building. And one of the simplest things you can do is when you, instead of going out and just plopping your house any direction, is face it either north or south. And, I mean, you're going to build a home anyway, so facing it makes a great deal of difference. It's where you put the east and west suns on that house.
Yeah. Wow.
Whether or not your electric bill is going to be, I mean, as much as 20 to 30% higher, just
we just don't think of that when we're looking at that home. So if we, those are things that need to be discussed and explained.
Jim insulates and passively air conditions garages in his custom homes. And the garage on the west side of the house and your car sitting in there cool and comfortable doesn't cost you any more to passively air condition the garage, but your car is comfortable. And it also gives you extra living space. In truth, I used our air-conditioned garage passively. It didn't cost anything extra, but I used it as a workshop. I built dollhouses.
It costs us extra to add the ducts, but you don't put any return ducts in there, and your thermostat's not inside in conditioned space. Yeah. So it only actually operates in the garage when your air conditioner comes on in the house. Now, if you open the garage door, of course, it just canceled it out pretty quick, and it takes it a while to recover. But still, we usually put an exhaust fan in there that actually exhausts to the exterior. We built her a little craft shop in the garage, and so it would come on when the garage door opened, and after it closed, it would run for like 10 minutes. And then shut down on a timer, and it would exhaust any fumes that you brought in with the car.
And it was wonderful. But it's really nice when it's bitter cold outside, your car's warm.
Right.
When it's terribly hot, your car's cool. And as I said, I used that little space for me was, the size of one bay for a car, because we had a 3+ car garage. So I used it for my workshop, and it was good, comfortable space. So those are the custom, energy efficient things that you add that don't cost really anything extra but give you so much.
And the next thing is everybody has to have windows. Well, it's window placement and size of windows. I mean, you can have lots of windows as long as they're sheltered. You put what we do is put a lot of windows. We normally try to face our houses north, and because everybody pretty well lives to the back, and we put a passive solar in the back to where the overhang is enough to where the sun will shine in the winter, and it doesn't shine in the summer. So you can put a lot of glass back there and still enjoy the view and not have to worry about the sun beaming in there, heating up the house. And that, like I said, again, a direction, placement of your windows, the size of windows, because we build a perfectly good, energy-efficient house, and then we cut holes in it. And every hole you cut takes away from the energy efficiency, and people don't really understand that or realize that. So once you take that piece of wall out, you need to put something back in there that's energy efficient. It won't be as energy efficient as the wall, but you need to get back as close as you can to fill that hole or fill that void to bring your conditioned space back to where you want.
And Jim, what do you use? You use a particular type of window, correct?
We do, and you don't have to go the most expensive. You can get some excellent quality windows, and we prefer vinyl. Okay. And
that's over aluminum, is that correct? Or
yeah, because you're going to end up spending more money in the long run if you buy the aluminum with a thermal break. You can put your hand on an aluminum window, the cheaper ones.
Right.
And you can feel it. If it's hot outside, the frame is hot.
Really?
If it's cold outside, the frame is cold.
So it's almost conducting that.
It's radiating heat.
Right.
It is conducting it into the house. So the thing about vinyl, it doesn't care what's on the other side of it. It's an insulator. So you're in the summertime, if it's warm outside, it doesn't transmit through the frame. And we like them, and you're looking at U factor, solar heat gain coefficient, transmission qualities, and they're all rated on the window and on the sticker, and it'll tell you their ratings. And here in our area, anything below a 0.36, the lower the number, the better. So if you've got a U factor of 0.36 and a solar heat gain coefficient of 0.32 or something, you're pretty good. But the lower the number you can get, the better off you are, the better the window is. And like I said, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get that. Just pay attention to what you're buying.
And that's why you need a builder. I don't shop that way and look at those numbers.
Absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. We walk in and we just go, wow, look at all the light, look at the windows.
They don't even look and see what their windows are vinyl, wood, or
But that's what the custom builder's all about.
Exactly.
He's the guy that's supposed to know.
Thank goodness you're there to make those decisions because, the average consumer, including myself, I wouldn't know that.
Well, see, and all these things, you've got to have your house facing a certain direction. You got to have windows, and you're not spending any more than you would trying not to build it energy efficient.
Right, but you're going to save money.
You're going to save money in the long run. A lot of things that people, they're going for aesthetics again. They'll pick a dark colored roof.
Right.
The lighter the color you can go, the more energy efficient it will be.
You've got a lot to think about, don't you, when you're doing
this?
Yeah,
I mean, it's trying to tell these people, but then again, we're going in with the radiant barriers on our houses, so we're reflecting. If you go in when it's newly construction, you're reflecting about 80% or better back away from the attic, and you're keeping that attic probably 30 degrees instead of having 150, 200 degree attic. You're getting down to where you can actually get up there and work and do things in the summertime and not,
not wait till December.
You're probably still going into 100 to 110 degree attic, but still it's not 150 to 100, way on up there.
Absolutely.
So do you think the market here understands energy efficiency? Do they have a feel for green?
I don't, Jean. I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done. I mean, just as I'm sitting here with you, I've learned so much this morning just about, never even thought about an earth-sheltered home. As I said, we walk into a home and we look at the aesthetics, and we don't understand how this home is really going to benefit us in the future, not just aesthetically, but in the pocketbook too. We only think about our pocketbook when we're purchasing the home.
Well, I've seen a lot of people go in. I don't see them recently, but back years ago, we'd go in and they would buy a large house, and then all of a sudden you'd see curtains up. I mean, sheets up over the windows.
Bothered him.
Yes.
They couldn't afford drapes.
They couldn't afford to put the
Blinds
drapes up after
You
they.
bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
Don't you remember seeing that?
You bet. Absolutely. Can I ask you on the earth sheltered homes? We were talking about windows. That's always been my misconception: is you wouldn't have light or a lot of windows.
That was one of the DoD studies. Department of Defense uses earth-sheltered buildings for alert shacks and for sensitive areas. And they found that the men who were stationed down in there had a lot of psychological
they had vitamin D deficiency.
They had psychological deficits because of the lack of sunlight. So what the Department of Defense did was go in and put in, effectively, those spiders, the skylights. They cut them through. They modified the buildings and put in windows. Well, what we've done is come up with a plan with a center courtyard that's open to the heavens, and every room is open onto the courtyard, which aesthetically, you walk through the front door into the foyer, and you see through into what would be my aviary, garden, and swimming pool in the center of the house. But the kitchen, every room opens onto it. Areas of absolute privacy, we still designed a transom for the guest. I like the Jack and Jill setup. So you have just the shower and the commode in one area.
Right.
Put a transom there still for fresh light. They're not going to spend as much time there. So that was acceptable, gave you the privacy. Every other room, even the shower stall that I was looking at and designing, this magnificent big shower stall when the back is glass and into what I've envisioned being a jungle out there with all my birds and trees.
Another thing that people don't think about is their overhangs.
Uh-huh.
You know, you come into some of these houses, they got a 6-inch overhang and all that stuff. If you can push it out 16 inches or 2 foot, you're not only shading the window, you're actually protecting it from hail.
So you're talking about your roof line?
The roof line, as it comes out, overhang, it's what comes out from the body of the house. If you can come out, we normally come out 16 inches or so, and we try to get them out further than that. And especially on the south side, we usually hang them out. Usually put a patio back there with a large overhang. But even then, we'll come out if we don't have one. Bring it out about 30 inches, 32 inches, and stuff.
Well, our house in Granbury, we're sitting on the lake, and we were facing due south.
We were facing due north.
Due north on the back?
Yes. Oh, no.
Facing.
No.
Oh, we were facing due north.
north.
So the back patio, he did this huge overhang. That's where the passive solar, we figured out the overhang because the entire back of the house was French doors. It was all glass looking at the lake.
Right. With a southern exposure.
All shaded all summer, and sunlight would pour in the winter. It was delightful. But that was a huge overhang past the screened-in porch.
Yeah, it was out 36 inches past the screened-in porch.
Which is great
we
for
hung a
plants.
lot of plants and stuff out there.
The ferns loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another thing, that in your rooms, put ceiling fans. You want the air to move, and we keep our ceiling fans on consistently, always moving the air. It doesn't cost you that much in electricity to do so, and don't run it on high. Just keep it on low.
Gale force winds in the room. Yeah, there's one of the things that just occurred to me, too, is when you're talking about energy efficiency and saving your wallet, there's a comfort level here that we need to address, too, that you need to be comfortable in your environment. If you're keeping the house too warm or too cold because you can't afford the electric bills, that house isn't comfortable. It's not warm and inviting. It's not the environment that you want. So you need to balance all these pieces to get the house that fits your personality aesthetically and that feels comfortable and inviting.
Well, you need to have something that you can afford to live in.
True.
And people, they go in, they say, what's my house payment? That's
Absolutely. You bet. That's their first thought.
Okay, we've got to take another break here. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
Croft Foam Insulation and Protective Coatings has over 25 years of experience in the spray foam business, serving residential, commercial, and industrial clients. Croft Foam specializes in open and closed cell polyurethane foam applications to construction, refrigerated trailers, and even castles. Croft Foam is a Fort Worth-based company. You may reach them by calling 817-482-1664 or email at foamman@swbell.net.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving Parker Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties with a selection of interior and exterior lighting fixtures. They also have ceiling fans, mirrors, and vanities in all sizes. A lighting consultant will help you with your decisions. For an appointment with a Fort Worth lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
Looking for a law firm with an understanding of the construction industry? Kelly M. Davis and Associates experience includes home inspections, construction contracts, disputes with builders, and helping subcontractors or vendors that have not been paid for their services. For more information, you may visit www.kmdalegal.com or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009.
Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Principal offices are located in Louisville, Texas.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, 2401 Zion Hill Road, Weatherford, Texas, 682-429-2116. We specialize in homes to suit each and every individual that expects special attention. We help design, finance, and close on every home we build. We use green building techniques in all of our homes. You can contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, Weatherford, 682-429-2116. Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Teresa Welch with Century 21 and Jean Gibson with Gibson Home Builders Incorporated. We're talking about green building, affordable green building, and just things you can do that people don't really think about that would help them in the long run. And you know, the first thing we talked about was the direction your house faces.
Right.
The type of windows you put in. How many windows you put in, which direction your windows face, air movement as far as using ceiling fans. There's so many things that you can do that you're going to build a house anyway, and it's not going to cost you that much more.
Right, simple things that we don't think about.
People don't, and that's my job as a builder, to try to get you to think about everything that you can do to save you money in the long run. Because the more money I can save you, you're going to tell your friends.
Absolutely.
And I always tell them that whenever you finance your house, your payments are going to be the same for the next 30 years. But if you don't build it right, your electric bill or your utility bills are going to keep going up every year.
That's a great point. And that's what we were just talking about pocketbook before you went to break. And so many times, again, we're just thinking about it right up front. How much home can I get for my money? And I think we're going to have a mind shift and think about, what's this home going to cost me as I live in it
overall.
down the road?
When I am building a house, I can put down everything and how much it cost. And I guarantee you the only line that anybody sees is the bottom line.
You got it.
And that's all they see. They don't see how much more for the radiant barrier, how much different types of insulation cost different amounts, but they're not apples to apples as far as the insulating qualities. And so, you're going in and you put in batting. Well, you put in batting, it's about 55 cents a square foot. You put in closed cell foam or rigid foam, it might be $2.50 a square foot. So you're putting in it costs you 5 times more to put in insulation. But it's a whole lot. It's not apples to apples. You're adding racking strength. You're doing a lot of things. But once you cover it with sheetrock, nobody knows.
So it's our job to help the consumer understand what's behind that wall.
Right.
We've got to sell it as an amenity. I mean, that's a big word, in real estate, are the amenities. And usually those are the things that you walk in and see. So we need to make these energy efficient items part of the amenities and right out there in front. Because otherwise, we walk in, again, they love the home.
Look at the
That's
paint
as
job.
far as they go.
Right.
Absolutely. So we need to help them understand.
You're a valuable part of this because you're an informed realtor.
Thank you.
And part of our job is to teach the client, but it's also to educate everybody that we're working with. Right now, the people at First National Bank of Weatherford are researching how to finance earth-sheltered homes.
For us.
For us, it's a team effort, and having first to educate them what we're doing. To work with you, and you're so aware and so savvy, and you know the Weatherford market well. Where else do you cover besides Weatherford?
Well, all of Parker County, West Fort Worth, and actually Judge Fight's a large company. It's actually the largest Century 21 in the area, Texas. We were number one in the world. We're neck and neck with another one right now. We have 23 offices, so we cover a large area. So that helps us understand what's going on in the other markets around the area.
My goodness.
Yeah, and actually Weatherford's one of the top markets out of their top offices out of their 23 offices. That's how good Weatherford is doing in Parker
Excellent.
County.
Oh, that is so reassuring.
Yeah.
Well, another little bitty thing that you can do, and what we try to do, is install fluorescent lighting instead of incandescent bulbs.
And it's not those big, ugly, long